I had to go to the store today because ain't nobody got time to make pasta sauce the long way. And I'll be honest, I was there about 8 seconds before I wanted to just pull what's left of my hair out and was wishing it was the middle of July. I'm guessing that that's how a lot of you feel. And I'm guessing that the holidays will do that to you. So, Jay and I are here to offer you some thoughts. What thoughts? Well, they're not very concise and they're not very cheap, but they're thoughts. Stay tuned. Welcome in, everybody. This is what would normally be the producer's live sale, except we're not selling you anything. In fact, we're hoping you'll buy us stuff. No, I'm kidding. I want to be very careful about how I put this and how I frame this, right? Everybody does a holiday gift guide. Everybody, they're all over the place. I looked at 7 or 8 of them just today, making sure that my list was, not just a ripoff of somebody else's list. But because everybody does a gift guide, we thought we would do a slightly different gift guide, which is the gift guide of what to buy Jay and I if you're shopping for us. Now, none of you should be buying any of this for any of us. We just want to send this to our families when we're done. So this is really not about y'all. This is about sending stuff to our families after the fact, right? But if we can, while we're going through our potential gift guide or the gifts that we would like for the holidays, inspire you into buying something for the nerds in your life, then that's a win. So, why don't we get started with that, shall we? So, Jay, when you were thinking about what gifts that you wanted to include on the list that we've come up with, what were you thinking? Like, what was your thought process?
It was, what is stuff that I need, but I need it for my hobbies, my likes, like stuff I need, but it's not like socks or underwear, which, I mean, that's always a need. You appreciate those more the older you get. But like, it's just things where I'm looking at my office right now and I'm like, wow, I need something to do with all these loose comics I have. Or, I have figures just randomly everywhere. There's probably something somebody could get me for that. Or when I look under my desk, I have a rat's nest going on here. So there could be something that could help me out with that.
Jay needs a cord organizer.
Yeah.
Well, and that was kind of my thought, right? Like, I struggle every year because I'm a grown-up who makes grown-up money and buys child things. Right? But I buy everything I need and I buy almost everything I want. And then there's still money left over at the end of the month for extra comic books. So what do you tell people to get you? What do you suggest to your family and friends when they're going, hey man, we want to get you a Christmas present. What do we get you? And you can't tell them Action Comics #1 because they don't have $9.3 million.
Yeah, I take the coward's way out with some of this stuff. I'm just like, get me gift cards.
Right.
That's what I say.
First and foremost, guys, and this goes on everybody's Christmas list ever. You can never go wrong with green paper with dead presidents' faces on them. Yeah. Right? But lot of people don't like giving cash. They don't like the idea of just giving nothing. So they want something personal. So I'm gonna go first, and Jay and I both have stuff, like we're gonna share screens and we're gonna show you stuff. I'm gonna go first, and the first thing is actually something I already have, but I want it for Jay. And the reason I want it for Jay is because I'm not gonna buy it for him. But it would make his life easier, and it actually makes doing this job easier. And it's this. It is the Elgato Stream Deck. This is the OG 15 key control pad. I have one. So what this is a piece of hardware for your that goes on your desk. And what it does is it lets you program each of the individual buttons on here to different hotkeys, which when we use StreamYard, we can use to control different things in StreamYard. Like, for instance, if I want to go to this, I just have to be in StreamYard. If I want to change the layout, I just have to be in StreamYard and press a button, and now Jay disappears. And you can't see that that it's the same thing as save a page. Anyway, or then I can go back to this, or okay, that one doesn't work. Or I could just turn my camera off. Like, there are a lot of things that I can do from the Stream Deck that make this a very useful tool for streaming. And Jay does a lot of streaming. He does a lot of the EXP stuff. He does a lot of stuff on his own, and he can actually. What's really cool about this is you can make separate profiles.
Ooh.
So he can have an EXP one and a Hydrosylum one, and I have one that is a I have a profile that's for Adobe Premiere. I have one for After Effects. I have one for Audition. So I use this. I will sit here like this when I'm editing videos, and it saves me from having to click so much. So this is my first thing. It's the Elgato Stream Deck. If you have a streamer in your life, check that one out. All right, Jay, what's your first gift that you want to recommend?
Also, I just want to add real fast to that. For folks that haven't used StreamYard or any services like that, the reason that would be so helpful is because StreamYard has like 12 buttons you have to push to get certain things. Right. So that would make, you are absolutely right. That would make it 100% easier. So
right. First and the thing is, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so the first thing I got a picture of it, but I'm actually in it. A chair. Chair is essential. I'm sitting at this desk very long times all week. I've been in this chair every day this week. And well, not every day this week with this chair, because my other chair, I wore out the piston. So I would sit in it and sink. And most of you might not be able to tell from being on camera, I am not a very tall person. So if my chair sinks, I'm going to be like this at my desk with my hands up like this, trying to type.
Although you sound really good when you sit like that.
Yeah, closer to the mic. That's another thing. So Jenna actually, for my pre-Christmas thing, got me a new chair. Now, this thing is dope. We didn't have to go with this chair, but it's the kind of chair that I like. So for me, it serves its purpose. It's comfortable, but it's also because I need one for work, because I'm not that coordinated to be able to stand up and work like some other people are. So this is cool. It's got a footrest in it. Like, it's pretty dope. But this is something I already got. So
this is a great chair too. This is a great kind for people who are gamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're someone who likes to spend hours playing video games, this is a great chair to sit in. It's got good support. It's got footrest. It's got everything you need. So that way you're not as sedentary as you would be if you were sitting on the couch or sitting on one of those, some of these other kind of products that are out there for gamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're like Jay or I, like right now I'm sitting on a couch. I'm in good shape. But at the office, when I had my office, I had stools. So there was no back, there was no leg support. It was a stool. Very uncomfortable for long streams. So having a chair like this where you can be comfortable when you're doing, and Jay and I sometimes do massive, massive, massive hours, is that it keeps your butt from going numb.
Yeah.
So chair is a good gift. A lot of uses for that.
Yep. And my other one, since the piston doesn't work anymore, that's strictly a gaming chair because I don't have to be sitting high up in that one. So it's not like it goes to waste.
What he's not saying is that it's Hans now.
Probably. If he can get up in it. It moves too much for him. It moves too much
that's
for
fair.
him. So yeah.
All right.
Here's my first one. Cool.
All right. My next thing is, again, we kind of were talking about what we would want, but on some level we talk about content creators, right? And we wanted to talk about content creation. So my next thing is, this is the Lit Hero starter bundle from GoPro. Now, right now I have a cell phone as my camera, but when I do the live sales, the camera that actually points at the rack is a GoPro. And the cool thing about the Lit Hero is that when you get the starter bundle, you get the little tripod mount, you get the clip-in mounts, but the Lit Hero actually has a light on it. One of the biggest struggles that streamers have, especially new streamers, is lighting. They're really bad at it. A lot of times you find people are in the dark, right? So having a camera that's got a light right here shooting at you is super helpful because it dulls out the things around you. It makes you look clean and crispy, and it helps you with your presentation. Now, here's what I will say. The GoPro is an expensive gift, right? The Lit Hero bundle is $330 or $230. Like, it is an expensive gift, but it's also one of those gifts that if you buy it for someone, you're showing them that you're investing in their hobby, in their future, in their streaming, in their content creation, right? It's something that you can give to somebody who's like, hey, I don't get what it is that you do for work or what it is that you do for your hobby. Something Jay and I hear a lot. But here, I want to invest in it. So it's a great gift, even if it is a little expensive. What's next, Jay? Did he freeze? Looks like he froze.
Go to your next one real fast, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. My next one is gift cards. So gift cards are a kind of another crappy gift, right? Like, a lot of people don't love giving gift cards. I love giving gift cards. But what I like to do is, rather than get a gift card for like a place, get the Visa gift cards. Get the MasterCard gift cards, the gift cards that people can go and spend as though it's actual money. And what I like to do is, I pulled up Neon Ichiban here, which is a new digital comic service. Neon Ichiban is I'm really enjoying using it, but they're having holiday sales right now. Select titles are up to 99 cents, or as low as 99 cents. So like, you can get Absolute Batman #1 for 99 cents. You can get Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring for 99 cents. You get Absolute Superman for 99 cents. These are digital comics with PDF downloads that you can then download and read. Yeah.
Yep, everybody left, so I'm in the room with the pup, and he was freaking out. Sorry about that.
You're good. So what I do is, I get somebody a gift card, and for this purpose, right? Come over here, and this is $25 you have to spend specifically here on Neon Ichiban. Or, like, to say, hey, I got you this Visa gift card so that you can go buy the digital comics or the webtoons or whatever you want to buy, right? Now, they could take that to their local comic shop. There's nothing stopping them, right? They could take that to their local game shop. There's nothing stopping them. But there's a opportunity there to use it for something that you can kind of guide them with, right? So hey, let's so like again, these are great opportunities to get books that'll be hard to buy.
Yeah.
Again, Absolute Batman #1 with a digital gift card. So this is how I use gift cards, right? I'll very seldom give gift cards to specific places, but I'll give you a gift card that's like cash and say, hey, I know you wanted digital comics. Here you go.
Very nice.
All right, you're up.
Yeah. So one I got is because outside of collecting comics, we collect figures, we collect statues, and it kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, it kind of doesn't matter to us what genre it is. Like we love horror comic figures, but we've found these, and these are nice. They're cheap, and there's a lot of people kind of like blind bag openings. A lot of people, like stuff like this. These are just super. They're super fun. Like we ended up getting, and I don't think it's on here, but we got the Pennywise, which is kind of super funny because we've been really into it. Welcome to Derry and rewatching the It series. So, it's little things like this. When people get me things, it never has to be expensive. It's kind of like you thought about something that I liked and you went out and got me something that that's tied to that that means a lot to me. Like it doesn't always have to be expensive. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have expensive things on this list. I'm getting there. I wanted to show show kind of the cheaper route first. I mean, I got things on here that are super simple. Then I got something on here that's like not, I don't want to say a grail gift, but one of those hopefully one day I'll get it. But yeah, little things like this, especially for us, because I show you something. I got Jenna a pre-Christmas present. Ugh, where's the she saw this. She's like, there's only one left. And I was like, grab it. So there's pre-Christmas for her right there. That's why she let me open the chair. She was like, here you go. I was like, all right.
Right. Yeah. That's the stuff that, guys, when we talk about this stuff, like we're trying to think of, like Jay and I are trying to think of stuff that, again, we would like, but that's thoughtful, right? Like Jenna thought about, Jay spends a lot of hours sitting on his butt. He needs a comfortable butt seat. I was thinking when I suggested the Stream Deck or the GoPro, these are, if people in your life want to make content, making content easier helps make content. So that was what I was thinking, and that's where my next gift comes in. This is, what did I just click on? There we go. So this is zipperless luggage, polycarbonate aluminum hard shell, expandable carry-on suitcase with spinner wheels. Why? Here's why. This. You see all of this junk that you can do with it? You got a place for your phone. Got a charger for your phone built in. Got a place to hold your coffee. Got a place for a bag. And you don't have to open it completely to take stuff in and out. This is great for your convention-going friends. You can put a lot of stuff in it that they don't have to carry on their back. Right? A lot of comics will fit in this. A lot of action figures, all kinds of stuff will fit in this. They don't have to carry it on their back. They don't have to bend down and unzip and open and pull everything out. They can reach in and pull what they're looking for out. Right? It's got a place for their cell phone. It's got a charger built in. It's got a place for your coffee. It's got a place for little bags you need to hang. This is one of those that if you have friends who do a lot of conventions or, a lot of that kind of stuff where you're looking for, you're kind of looking to give them something that will make their lives easier, especially at a convention. Having one of these for conventions is super helpful. I have a similar one. And it protects your stuff really well because it's such a hard case, right? So,
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, I got my case right here. I could grab it right now.
Wow.
But and they're great, especially like I said, if you're carrying high dollar stuff with you. Now it's protected. Oh, and it's got good locks on it, so your stuff can't get stolen. Like again, you got these really nice locks.
Oh wow.
So that's one of the things that I like to recommend. What's next, Jay?
Speaking of Jay's butt, a, a seat cushion to go with the chair. Like again, it's one of those weird things. You're like, why would you want that? Well, because again, sitting in this chair, it can be comfortable. You can have a comfortable chair, but when you're sitting in a chair 50 plus hours a week, sometimes you need a little extra. And this is just one that I found. There's definitely many cheaper ones out there, but this is just one I found because I was like, it also is cooling.
And it has the word coccyx.
Yeah, that too. I can't
We're
tell you
also
how many.
children.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, because honestly, if you've ever sat in a chair, even if it was comfortable for hours at a time, and you go to stand up, sometimes your coccyx hurts. Yeah, see, things like that. It's so weird. When you're a kid, you don't want those things. Like when I was a kid, I wouldn't want something like this. Being an adult and the job that I have, I want one of these so bad. So this is just again, it's one of those weird things to say. My wife would see it and be like, "I was thinking about your butt when I got this." So
Not weird for your wife.
no, that is true. That is true.
All right. This is one that Jay and I both had on our list, and so I just pulled up the Gemini site. This is GeminiComicSupply.com. Jay said bags and boards. My list was actually bags and boards, but also boxes.
Yeah.
Storage and storage materials for your comics, right? Things you can use to keep your comics safe and nice and happy. So I like Gemini as a supplier for this stuff. Their bags and boards are really nice. Their boxes are like the double thick handles, so they don't tear as often. Gemini has really good product, right? They take really good care of the comic books. So if you have again, somebody in your life who collects comic books, who goes through a lot of comic books, a great place to shop for them would be from Gemini Supply. Again, this is all stuff you can go in your local comic shop and get, right? Like most local comic shops are going to have bags and boards. They're going to have short boxes and long boxes. They may have dividers. They may be able to sell you T-fold mailers, top loaders, all of that kind of stuff. But if you're looking for something to get, like I said, the nerd in your life that's super like, okay, I put my comics in the box this way, and I do this, and you don't want to get them the wrong thing. Having them go to Gemini and send you the links, or BCW, or any of the other comic supply companies. Right, and here's the thing, TJ. Like TJ says, moving companies are not great stewards of comic books, of comic boxes. It's true, but also moving boxes are not great ways to store comics. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had people bring me collections where they're just in moving boxes or in like totes, like plastic Rubbermaid totes. And it's like, you're killing your comic books, man. But again, someplace like Gemini Supply is a great place to start. BCW, Comic Care. There are a lot of great companies out there, great options for you to check out. But Jay and I both had bags and boards on our list.
Yeah. So next one I got is microphone, which is something I'm going to be taking care of eventually. But again, as a streamer, like for my own streams, this microphone works fine for me. When I record my videos, I can mess with the audio. That's fine. But for work, I believe this is just a me belief. I need a better microphone. I need a better setup for that because I do a lot of talking on the shows, and especially when it's a show like this. But when people need me to jump on, it's important that they hear me. So this is kind of a want because I think it's cool, but it's also a need because I need to be able for people to hear me when I'm talking to them, especially on the shows on the channel. So this is one of those you want it, but it'd probably be good to have. And again, most of my mics are all USB mics. They're mics I got on sale for cheap. Not that they're bad mics, but again, I could do an upgrade. So this would definitely be something that I would send to my family. Be like, hey, again, like Kyle said, they don't understand what we do, and most of my family they do not. Be like, hey, but this is something that I would need/want for work. And that's kind of the trick when you're an adult, when you're telling your family about stuff. It's for work.
Right. And I will piggyback on Jay's. I'm pulling up a suggestion. Again, if you're a content creator, something that I'm going to suggest to people. And it's what I've been using since I've been at home. To add to the microphone, I actually just bought a second set of this. Because you can never have too many. These are Boya Mini 2 wireless microphones for Android and iPhone. But like I'm using it with my laptop right now. See, I'm literally using it right now. They come in a little box like this. And with this set, you get both the USB-C and an iPhone Lightning adapter. They just plug into your phone or your computer, and you can use them like as lapel mics. These are a cheap alternative to some of the more expensive, like DJI brand mics, which I would also recommend. But if you're trying to not spend too much money, the Boyas are a nice way to go. And again, we can get into this, but like here at home, I don't have the microphones I had at the studio. You guys saw them for years on the experience, where I had the big, expensive, really nice microphones that I use all the time. And I use them when I do voice work. I use them when I do voiceover. I use them when I do all kinds of stuff. But here, they pick up too much of the surrounding noise. So I don't use them. I will use them when I get to my next place. But the nice thing about, again, a cheaper but very user-friendly microphone is these went with me for the live show yesterday at the warehouse. And all I had to do was plug them into my phone. Right? Like, they went with me yesterday for that. They went with me to Baltimore, and I used them for all kinds of content I made in Baltimore. So they're really handy to be when you're traveling or when you're moving around. Whereas the microphone Jay has is going to sound phenomenal, but you can't walk down the street with that one.
No, not unless you're taking your computer on the cart with you.
Right. Which I've done. It's not fun.
Wires.
All right. My next one, and because I was just piggybacking onto Jay's there. Absolute Martian Manhunter Trade Paperback Volume 1. Do I need to say more stuff?
No.
Okay. My next few are actually trades. These are books that I think people are overlooking or are missing the opportunities on. But this is a super fun, and I'm using in-stock trades just because they're here. Go to your local comic shop. Otherwise, you won't have this for Christmas, right? If you want this for Christmas, you need to go to your local comic shop and pick it up. But this book continues to shock me, continues to keep me interested, even when other books are boring the crap out of me. Absolute Martian Manhunter has been a hit for me. So I'm recommending Absolute Martian Manhunter by Dennis Camp, with art by Javier Rodriguez. This is the trade paperback. There is a direct market edition that I like as well that might be worth grabbing. You're up.
All right. Next up for me. Again, I chose this book specifically because, again, it's on the brain, but books. And not just picture books, honest to goodness novels. This one also specifically, I've actually never read it. I love the movies. I love digging into the lore. I have never actually read this entire book. I think I've read a chapter or two, maybe, but it was years ago. I'm
You'll be
talking
okay,
like,
hon.
I know he's crazy. Maybe I was 10, 11 the first time I tried, made it 2 chapters and then never read it again. And here I am 43 years old and still haven't read it. So books, I love books. I don't talk about books that often, but these books about, especially shark books. I'm real big into shark books. My goodness, I need a dog training
He's
book right
fine.
now. Is what I need. But like, there's a book called Extinct about a megalodon. I've read that cover to cover. I have the Reader's Digest that has Jaws 2, The Education of Little Tree, things like that. I read that book, those 2 stories specifically, at least once a year. Like, I love reading books. It's finding the time to read books. And I know this one right here would be a monster because it's like 1,300 some odd pages. But I'm so into the lore of this, and I love the movies, and I'm talking Tim Curry too. I love the movie so much that this is definitely on my list for someone to get me this year. Or whenever, but I eventually want to sit down and read this one.
Yeah, since I was a little kid, every year it's been one of those things that we can count on from my mom as a book, right?
Yeah.
And it's to the point now where the problem is she doesn't buy them for me anyway because I just buy all the ones I want.
Yeah.
In fact, my TBR of books is down to 3. My goal for one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to have no TBR for comic books. And by the end of the year I won't if I keep reading at the pace I'm reading, right? But I have 3 novels that I need to finish that I picked up just recently. So like, okay, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. Haven't had a lot of time, but straight books is always a good decision.
Yep.
And now, because of Penguin Random House and the expansion of distribution to comic shops, a lot of local comic shops are carrying prose novels that are relative to what they're already carrying in terms of comic book product. So you might want to check those out.
Ooh.
Okay. This one's been around a while. This is not a new book. Justice Deluxe Edition hardcover.
Ooh.
This is written and drawn by Alex Ross with Jim Kruger, Doug Braithwaite. This is a great traditional Justice League story. Fantastic Justice League story. Probably my second favorite Justice League story of all time. And they just did a re-release. They just did a new oversized hardcover edition of this with a new trade dress and a new sort of look that is very cool. Why am I recommending this? Well, I was watching another stream last night with some people, and they were discussing the Absolute Universe. And in that stream, in discussing the Absolute Universe, it was brought up that why couldn't they just be new characters? And the answer to that is, if you think they need to be new characters, you don't understand what's happening. And this is a great example as to why they have to be new characters, why they can't be new characters, why they have to be different but the same. Yes, this is exactly it. Strong elements of the Challenge of the Super Friends if you grew up with that cartoon. Exactly. The thing that Absolute is doing that is so important is it's the characters that you know as Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Green Lantern, Absolute Flash are not the Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Batman that are in this book. They are distinctly different characters because they were made in a different universe, right? They were made by a supervillain. Well, this is the best representation of the Legion of Doom, I think, in the last 20 years. And so you get to understand why supervillains are so important and why their role as they relate to superheroes are so important. So I think when you can get the only way you can really understand that in the DC universe fully, right, is to read Justice League, Justice Society of America, Justice League Europe, Justice League, like you can't just go read Batman and be like, okay, why is the Joker so important to Batman? No, you got to understand when the Joker is hanging out with Lex Luthor, the Joker is a different dude, right?
Yeah.
Like the only way you could fully understand why the characters are the way they are in the traditional DC universe is to read Justice League, is to read the team up books. And then when they have great representations like this one does, or like Tornado's Path does by Dave Meltzer, of the super villains, all of a sudden, now you get to see why, if Darkseid or Doomsday or the Anti-Monitor or, whoever were to make a universe in their image, okay, these characters are going to be the same characters, but they are going to look and behave very differently. So, Justice Deluxe Edition hardcover. Again, head into your local comic shop. They will probably have the newer release if they don't have that one.
So my next one is a tale of if you see it, you should get it. You should not wait on it. This was the DC versus Marvel omnibus hardcover. It had been in one of our shops around our area for months now. For months. The reason I got the chair, outside of the fact my other one was messing up, is because when Jenna went to go get my Christmas present, she stopped at one of the shops to pick this book up, and it was already sold. This is something that, again, this is not a need. This is a want. Like, I have a crossover classics, and reading that one, I saw this, and when I saw that it was collected, much like the Amalgam one I didn't put on the list, but that's another one I want to get. When I saw this beautiful hardcover that's like that thick, like crazy thick book, dummy thick, as the kids would say, I was like, man, I want that. Oh, well, you know what? It's been sitting here for a little while. I can wait on it. Next 2 or 3 months go by. We go back in there. We see the book again. No, I got other stuff I got to get. I'll wait on it. I'll wait on it. Well, I needed the chair. Okay. I needed the chair, but I wanted the book. So I have a list on some other site. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now, where it's just a wish list of books. And this has been on there since I saw it. It's on my list. I have seen it in stores, but I didn't pull the trigger on it, so I missed out. So that's my story of, if you can, I'm not telling you to go broke or nothing, but if you can and you see something that you want, comic book wise especially, pick it up. Like, this is one of those things. Eventually I'll get this book. I will. It's just the fact that we were going to get it, and then when she was going to get it, it was gone. But I love hardcovers. I've always said I collect and trade. If I can find something in a hardcover, though, I usually always go for hardcover, just because of the way it sits on the shelf. But this is definitely up there on my list of I don't need it, but I want it really bad. But
Mm-hmm.
if you got comic friends in your life, have them send you a list. It doesn't have to be, big old omnibus or anything. Just if they're missing certain volumes, because I got stuff I've collected where I was missing spots in the volumes, like Invincible. I had 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and then we got the two from you to fill that part of the collection in. So you got comic fans in your life. Yeah, I know Han disagrees tremendously. So if you have comic fans in your life and you're looking for comics and you don't know exactly what they like, just have them send you a list. They won't know exactly what you're going to pick for them. So, but yeah, I really want this book a whole lot.
All right. My next thing is not necessarily Junkyard Joe Deluxe Direct Market exclusive hardcover, but it might as well be. My next thing is the direct market exclusive hardcovers of the Image trades. And Marvel and DC are doing them as well. But these are versions of the hardcover of these books that you can't get at Barnes and Noble. You can't get at the mall unless you have a comic shop in your mall. You can only get these from a local comic shop. And the direct market covers are usually way cooler than the mass market covers. So in this case, the Junkyard Joe cover is a little more minimalist. I think it's a little more interesting than the mass market version of this. But the direct market exclusive hardcovers are super super cool ways to get hardcover trades and to have something that not just any Joe Schmo has. You got to know where to go get one in a comic shop. So I recommend, again, the direct market exclusive covers of trades. But also, you should read Junkyard Joe. I mean, I'm wearing a Red Coat t-shirt today, but you should read Junkyard Joe too.
Definitely on the list. So again, as simple gift that I would definitely love to have. It's something to manage all these wires I have. Mainly because where my computer sits in the room, the outlet is on the opposite side. So I got all these cables. I mean, it's a rat's nest. It really is. I need to reconfigure how I have it. My tower for internet sits all the way on this side. So I have an Ethernet cable that runs behind my comic racks over the full, under comic boxes that hooks in. These are just, they're neat because they have ones that have zippers, so you can fit. I've done the visualization in my head. There would be three sets of wires, 3 sets of these would cover all my wires. I wouldn't have to worry about poor hand when he stays in the office with me. He lays down like a good boy a lot of times, but there's sometimes he's got the zoomies, and unfortunately, the zoomies sometimes trip up into my wires and pulls my tower off where it sits. So this is something. Again, it's kind of to help with work, kind of, but also it's just organization, something to help with the organization. So something just really, really weird. If I ask somebody in my family, like, look, I got cables everywhere. Like, well, it's kind of weird to get you for Christmas, but it sounds like something you need. Absolutely. Organization helps with everything around here. So, yeah, super simple one. I'm saving my big one for the last one.
I my next thing is something I already own. But then there's something that's coming out that I want that is the same thing as something I already own. So we'll just get into it. This is Spectrum by Rick Quinn and Dave Chisholm. It is my favorite book of the last year. As much as I love Red Coat, as much as I love so much of what's coming out from Ghost Machine, as much as I've really enjoyed a lot of what's come out from Distillery and Ignition Press and even the Absolute stuff that I'm reading, this has been my favorite this has been my favorite series of the last year. The trade paperback of Spectrum is already out. Right? So if you have somebody who's like me and is like, this is the greatest book that's ever written, then great. If they can wait a little bit, they can get the deluxe edition hardcover with this beautiful, beautiful cover by Dave Chisholm. So again, this is one of those that there's already one out, so you can get it for him for Christmas. Or you could be like, hey, I owe you a hardcover. It comes out in January. But you can both get them, maybe, especially if they're a creative person, one of the most interesting stories that has been told in comics this year.
All right, so this is the last thing I have, folks. And the thing is, I am a person, it's very hard when I get asked stuff like this. Hey, what would you want? I am terrible at picking stuff out for myself. So this list was actually a little bit hard for me to put together. But the big thing on my list, the 3D printer. This is definitely a want. This is definitely a want. I see all the cool stuff that gets made. I see the figures. I this is something I want to get into. I've seen just all these handy things too. Like, it's not just for making toys and things like that. Some of the like practical stuff that gets made with these is awesome. And I find myself in a rabbit hole of watching 3D printed stuff. Again, if you have a creative person in your life, you know, again, if you have the funds to do something like this, you know, awesome. But this is more of this is definitely a just want it. Like, this is the thing that I could probably go without this for the rest of my life. Cool to watch the videos, but this would be like my, outside of the Superman, of course, outside of the Action Comics, this would be like my Grail gift. Exactly. Again, this is the last thing I got, folks. This is just one of those. They're cool. They're really cool. Like, go watch some of the videos that they have, people making things on this. It does take patience. It does take practice, all that stuff. But for me, this thing is like, it's just the thing that I would want the most out of everything on my list. If somebody said you could pick one thing, doesn't matter the price point, you could pick one thing on your list that you would want, 100% it would be a 3D printer. So
yeah.
Yeah.
When I first got to use a 3D printer, I was in high school, and it was the size of a refrigerator. They have gotten so affordable and so small and so easy to use that I can imagine that this will eventually become the air fryer of things everybody has, and you know, they're a fad one year or whatever. But they don't regret getting, right? Like, I just had somebody 3D print something for me the other day just because I needed a certain size bolt, and trying to order one was ridiculous, right? And a plastic one will work perfect. Look, Mr. Nope, when I first encountered one, you needed to know how to use CAD, AutoCAD, and 3D Studio Viz, and a render software to combine the two to be able to get to a file that a 3D printer could read. Right? Like, you had to know 3 different pieces of software. Now, easy to use means like you could just use Blender, or you know, there's like one piece of software that does the whole thing, and there's so much on the internet to teach you how to use it. You can learn. Like, it's one of those, it used to be cumbersome, not because using the 3D printer was hard, but because learning the stuff to use the 3D printer was hard. And now it's a few hours on YouTube. It took us a year to learn how to use it after we bought it. And then all we could do was make golf ball like where the little coin you put behind your golf ball when it's on the green, like, and move it. Like, that's all we could figure out how to make reliably. Like, it was dumb. So I want a 3D printer too, but I probably will never buy one. Mainly because they have them at my library.
I never thought to look there. But, yep.
I just go to the library. All right. So I have literally two things left here that I'm going to suggest. The first is this. This is the Stranger Things Welcome to the Hellfire Club Dungeons and Dragons adventure game. So this is essentially you are playing Dungeons and Dragons and you're finishing the campaign that Eddie was running in Stranger Things. So if you have people in your life who have never played Dungeons and Dragons and they have seen the Stranger Things, they at least know where you're starting from, right? You don't have to teach them the lore of what is a bugbear or why a gelatinous cube is scary, right? Like, those are things that, like, while people like Dan and I love that kind of lore and mythology and learning that when we learn a game, you got to want to play Dungeons and Dragons before you want to learn all that stuff, right? This is you want to try Dungeons and Dragons? This is a great way to jump into it. Everything is prefab, pre-made, because you're finishing, again, an existing campaign that Eddie was running in a pretty popular show. So it's an easy... I actually sent this to my 5-year-old nephews, or to my nephews in England. They're 5 and 11, or 7 and 11, 8 and 11. I don't know how old they are anymore. But because it's got all of the stuff, and because I have a copy here, we can play through Zoom. Right? I can teach them to play Dungeons and Dragons remotely through Zoom with this. Jay wants to play Dungeons and Doggies.
Yeah.
But to go with this, I suggest this. The Dungeons and Dragons starter set Heroes of the Borderlands. This has in it everything you need except for dice to be able to play a D&D 5e campaign set in the Borderlands. You play Heroes of the Borderlands. So this is very traditional sword and sorcery adventuring party kind of Dungeons and Dragons, right? You don't need to figure out how to be something other than just, okay, I'm a mage, I'm a wizard, I'm a, whatever, rogue. You don't need to figure out classes. You can figure out your different species, your different character types very easily in this set. And again, it gives you everything you need. And the other thing that's great is that Heroes of the Borderlands is a legendary adventure. Like, I've played Legends of the Borderlands a dozen times at different conventions. I was hoping they would have more art. Anyway, at different conventions, I played Heroes of the Borderlands a dozen times. So you can really get into a pretty great campaign. The other thing this does that's great, Nobody Tell Wizards of the Coast. It gives you all the crap that, like, and it makes you use the stuff that you're never going to use when you're actually playing. Right? Things that just don't make sense, like their branded tokens and their little knickknacks, and Dollar General is a way more effective place to get a lot of that stuff if you're just willing to use poker chips and little, glass beads rather than, well, this has a Tiamat on it, I'm going to use this pog. No, man, like, just get a marker, that kind of stuff. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds, the stuff that you're going to use and the stuff that you're going to decide what works for your game and what doesn't. The game I'm currently playing, right? Like, a map like this doesn't help us. Right? Like, it doesn't serve the game we play. These little add-ons don't serve the game we play. But you have stuff like this where you have your character cards and your spell cards and your, creature cards, those are hugely helpful. So again, it's one of those you get everything so you can figure out what works and what doesn't for you. And then the last thing I have is the additional Disney Parks dessert cookbook. Maybe I'm just hungry.
True.
No. There are the official cookbooks of the Disney parks are out there, right? So there's more than just desserts. I think Amazon has them all, right? So the official Disney Parks cookbook, 101 magical recipes, festival recipes. These are great, especially if you have a Disney adult in your life, which I do. Because now they can learn how to make the stuff that they normally have to fly to Florida or California to eat. Right? And it might not be as good as the Disney parks because, obviously they're not going to give you everything. They can't give you the exploded price and all of that sort of stuff. But, and that makes it better. But you can make stuff that you like from the Disney parks using this cookbook. And, it helps them to not feel so distant from their weird obsession with Disney as grown-ups. So those are, and again, the Disney Parks cookbook, right, is more or less any cookbook or recipe guide or any of that to any fandom people have, right? I have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza cookbook. Some of them pizzas are terrible. Awful. Oh my God, I can't believe I spent the money to make it. But others of them are really good. So when you get somebody a cookbook from their fandom, it lets them expound their fandom a little bit. And that's a fun little holiday gift. So those are some ideas from Jay and I of things we want for Christmas. If hopefully they inspire you to get when you need gifts for the other nerds in your life, right?
Yeah.
Right. TJ's like, I got my niece and her husband each a can holder tankard that is also a dice tower. I may or may not have bought a Xenomorph head dice tower at Rad Raptor Comics in Adrian, Michigan. It's 3D printed, ironically. So you put your die in the back of the Xenomorph's head and it comes out the mouth. Rolls down, the tongue sticks out and it rolls down and catches the die.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's dope. It's incredible. I don't even like Alien that much, but that is a great dice tower.
Yeah.
Right? But so those are great ideas. Something else you can do that would be hugely helpful for us, that would be hugely helpful, is support the experience. Subscribe, share, but throw some super chats in the chat. We do have membership here on the experience. You could buy a membership for yourself, but you can also gift out memberships for other people on YouTube. So you can give the gift of membership to other people. And while that doesn't go directly in Jay and I's pockets, it does help keep the lights on. So those kind of things, that's my last thing, and I don't have a slide for it. I don't have a screen pulled up. Subscriptions, memberships, the Cheese of the Month Club. I just bought a gift membership to Dropout TV for a month for a friend of mine. So, as a Christmas gift, things like that will provide further enjoyment for your friends and family. That you can buy them a year of a thing. Don't tell my dad, but I got him a year of a thing called Dude Meat. He sends you steaks, burgers, hot dogs, and other cuts of meat direct to your house once a month.
Oh.
It's like Omaha Steaks, but less pretentious. Any of those kind of subscription services are great. By the way, it's called Dude Food.
Dude food.
I literally just got a text that his Christmas gift shipped.
Nice.
Because we also got him a Blackstone.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Big, like 32-inch Blackstone. Anyway, so again, guys, if you could sub to the experience, share the experience, share memberships, buy memberships for other people, throw super chats in the chat this week, that would all be really helpful for us. We would love that. Any other last minute gift ideas, Jay, other than socks and underwear? Which, again, underoos, underwear that's fun to wear.
Oh man, I think we covered most of what I was thinking of. You know, gift cards. Some people just like candy and stuff like that. You never know, man.
Yeah, no, that's always a big gift around here is candy. Type 1 diabetic man. Get a lot of candy. No. Guys, this week here on The Experience is going to be a little all over the place, so make sure you're following us on social media because that's where we're going to tell you what shows are happening and what shows aren't as we get around the holidays. We may have some shows on Christmas Eve. In fact, I think Miss Jen and I are going to do something pretty cool that we've never done before on New Year's Eve. Or not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we are dark on Thursday. I found a local independent grocery store down here that had Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew glass bottles made with cane sugar. Yeah, I mean, luckily around here, it was pretty much everywhere. But every time I look at them, like my foot gets a little closer to falling off. So, great gift, TJ. But if you could find the Diet in a glass bottle, call me. I went to a grocery store today and bought Diet Faygo.
Oh wow!
Because they only sell those at certain independent grocery stores. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, follow us on social media. We are dark on Thursday, unless somebody changes their mind and wants to do something on Thursday. But Matthias and I will be here on Friday with perhaps a very special order up with a very special guest. That if the very special guest shows up, Jay's little head will explode.
Oh, I'm excited now.
It will make Jay's excitement for Jeff Johns look like Jay couldn't care less about Jeff Johns.
Oh, okay.
But we haven't confirmed yet. We're still working on it. And then I don't know again what else is running Friday for sure. I think Nancy will be here. I do not know about the art show, but we will be here for FOC. And then next Sunday, Jay and I will be here. And we had discussed the topic, and I've already forgotten what it is.
Goals for New Year? I don't remember now.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. We'll come up with it. Oh, maybe it'll be. Maybe we're gonna do a TJ. Or maybe a TJ. Maybe we'll do a New Year's resolutions that we intend to break. Show. Things we're gonna try and do that we definitely won't. Like, get social media clips every day on time, and actually edit some video. No, I'm kidding. Just so be tuned in next Sunday. Jay and I will be here with something. Maybe it'll even be a live sale. Who knows? We'll see. I may have a black eye. Who knows? We'll see. Saturday the 27th, I'm appearing at IWR Seasons Beatings Fest.
Oh.
Insane Wrestling Revolution Seasons Beatings Fest. So if you're in the greater Michigan area and you want to come and see me potentially get my ass kicked, I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think that's on the card, but you never know. It could happen. So, guys, have a good holiday. If we don't see you before, I'm sure we'll see you because we're always here and we never get a day off. But make sure you tune in for social media and see all the things. And have a happy holidays. If tonight's the last night of Hanukkah for you, enjoy the last night of Hanukkah. We hope you've had a blessed Hanukkah. We hope you have a great Christmas season. Kwanzaa starts next Friday. Enjoy that. And any other holiday that you are a part of. Will it be streamed? It should be on Triller TV, unknown. But like last time, I was in the pre-show. So I wasn't on Triller. But maybe. So, again, guys, we will see you all later this week here on The Experience. Make sure you stay tuned to the social media. Thank you all for a great year. It's been a great year. Stay tuned for all of the things. We'll talk soon.